Hello, Jay with Bitten by Books, Book Bites, and Great Scott Audio Productions. Today will be the final edition of Book Bites from me, so I'm going to end on a high note with someone who's very, very special to me, as are the people I've met on her message boards. Vicki Pettersson's Swerve. As you can see, this is my tablet, not a hardback book or a softback book, and so I went ahead and purchased it on here, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. It's not your usual fare. Again, I'm going to try and put you guys outside of your comfort zones. This is a thriller, an extra especially creeptastic, edge of your seat, ride of your life kind of thing, okay? So if you are, I would say, squeamish or don't like scary stuff, this will freak you out in the best way possible. Because, I mean, Vic, I love you. This, I still, this is one of those that'll make you lose sleep. It's that good, okay? Not because you can't put it down, because of that, and, hello, creepy. So, we're going to dive right in, chapter 1, kind of clean slate, if you will. We're going to start off and start taking this book for a ride, shall we? It's not exactly an ominous building, not from the highway. As rest stops go, it could even be called a welcome sight. Sturdy and wide, it's squat like a sumo wrestler with brick face sprayed glossy brown in order to blend with the rest of the arid desert terrain. Its location on Interstate 15 means it should be well kept, too. This is the busiest thoroughfare in the West, after all, the unassuming straight shot that links the artificial glitter of the Las Vegas Valley to the natural gold of California's rolling hills. So, given all that, how could I know that in a mere 10 minutes I'd be fleeing that crouching, dust-blown building? That I'd be covered in blood, screaming as I run? It's July 3rd, so the sun is a heat lamp with no off switch. The blacktop road, a cast-iron griddle, and any living thing caught between the two is just meat set to singe on high. I tried to tell Daniel this. I know this swath of high desert as well as I know his profile. The Mojave's cracked surface is as familiar to me as the dark mole tucked to the side of his right eyebrow, his only imperfection, and one I love. Unfortunately, a 4 p.m. race through the desert is the only way to both complete my 12-hour shift at the hospital and still reach his childhood estate at Lake Arrowhead before dinner. Cocktails and hors d'oeuvres are to be served on the east patio precisely at 7 o'clock. I know, right? At least there's still light to see by inside the rest stop's stifling concrete shell. It'll filter in through the open brick door frame and allow for a mercifully quick change of clothes. I've made a mess of things in the car, though it could be worse. It will be worse. Sorry, I told Daniel 5 minutes earlier. We were speeding past a stranded Toyota emptied of occupants, its windows rolled down like it was panting in the heat. It was the third such vehicle we'd seen since escaping Vegas, and we'd already been clocking them in, taking bets on how many we'd encounter before we reached the mountains. Daniel was an eternal optimist, which meant I was winning. One deserted car barely disappeared into the rearview mirror before another surfaced in the heat haze, ever shimmering just ahead. Ghosts in front of us, ghosts behind. In contrast, Daniel's pristine Beamer set the pace for the moving traffic, advancing with smooth and silent precision. He kept it oiled underneath, polished on top, and free of debris inside. Everything he owned and touched received the same consideration, though he wasn't ostentatious like some of the other surgeons. Too young for a midlife crisis, yet too old to fall prey to insecurities that might otherwise drive him to flash his status, he felt no need to prove his worth. In truth, I'd never met anyone more comfortable in his own skin. No, Daniel simply believed in investing in quality items the first time around, both in terms of performance and aesthetics, and then he took care of those things forever. Since he'd proposed to me at the beginning of the summer, I was now implicitly included in this unspoken personal philosophy, which made the iced coffee I'd just spilled across the luxury packaged leather console all the more galling. You should be sorry, Daniel finally said, and I jerked my head up fast to search his face. His eyes were on the road. He was wearing his half-scrawled smile, the one that came out of nowhere to wallop me every time. You are an incredible distraction. He should talk, I think, smiling now, too. If ever there was a man built for distraction, this was the one. That's why, when he'd reached up to smooth back my hair, I'd removed my coffee from the center tray and held it, allowing me to lean in close. And it was why, despite my tension over the long work week, the desert drive, and even what awaited me at the end of it, I'd closed my eyes and rested my head in his palm. It was why, when he dropped a soft kiss to my hairline, I slid my fingertips almost up the almost preternaturally soft skin of his inner forearm and sighed in absolute contentment. He'd gasped right before he'd swerved. The car bucked, his tires screeching in a fight to realign with the road. But Daniel overcorrected, and the luxury machine flew into a pendulum whip. Smoke and burning rubber surged through the vents to fill the car's cabin, turning my scream into a defensive cough. The flimsy cup lid popped in my grip, and the coffee exploded over the seats, the dash, my scrubs, and I flailed for the door grip as the desert spun. An image of my Abby, lanky and freckled and gap-toothed at 9, flashed. Who would stroke her limbs during the nighttime growing pains? Who would put handwritten notes in her lunchbox? Who, I had just enough time to wonder, would be her mother? But by then, we'd come to a jolting halt on the roadside gravel bank, conveniently facing the California border. I whimpered, but finally managed to turn to Daniel. His breath rasped from his throat, louder than the air vents, and his eyes were wide as quarters when they met mine. Still, not one hair on his head was out of place. It goes much, much further downhill from here, ladies and gentlemen. I will allow you to go pick up a copy of this amazing book from this fantastic and phenomenal person, author, dancer, just person. She's amazing. Vic, love you to death. All the rest of the gang, Skitty, Ravi, Teresa, Deb, Mickey, all of you, I love you so much. Enjoy this and enjoy each other, please. I told Rach I would possibly be back. I don't know. I've got quite a few things going on. I need to try and start recording again. It's been a while. My first book that I read was 13 Tales of Halloween. It's called The End of Summer, a collection of short stories, which is awesome, and we're getting toward that season. And second of all, a short story by Mark Henry, which is just so creepy and so fun. But in addition to that, I'm doing another thing. I've started another business, and we're going to kind of concentrate on that. I will check in from time to time, cause trouble. But for now, take care of yourselves and each other.